Hello there, welcome to the continuation of our project. In our last video, we designed this homepage from scratch. And so today we're going to look at a continuation from where we stopped. If you look at the homepage, it's a very simple homepage. So we want to look at request pickup page. We're going to design the request pickup page as well as the deliver for us. The deliver for us link is going to take you to the sign in page. So we're also going to design the sign in page, right, as well. Then we also have a sign up page, which is based on our pencil file. So I'm going to open my pencil now because it's our guide. Okay, so here we are. Good. So okay, let's continue with the sign in page. Now we come to the sign up page, which is this page is for the deliver man, right? Okay, so to create the sign in page, we simply head to our editor, and then okay, so again, this is very important because the theme on all the pages are the same. If you look at the home page, the background is the same all through all the pages. The logo is the same. The links at the extreme top are the same throughout the whole page. So it makes sense to simply duplicate the home page for every new page, subtract what you don't need, and then add what you need. It's as simple as that. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just head on to save as, and then it's gonna allow me to create a new page. So I'll just call it sign in. And so once I do that, I'm gonna change the title. So the first thing I want to change is the title, so I call it sign in. Then the next thing I want to change, of course, this is my logo, right? This is my logo. Okay, this is my logo, right? This is my links. Look at, you can see my bar here, right, containing 3 links. So those are constant. I'm not gonna change it. Okay, this image is gonna go, right? This image is gonna go. So I'm gonna remove this image first. This image, I'm gonna remove this one. Okay, that image is gone. So let's see what I have now. I'm gonna head towards my browser and see deliver for us. It takes you to sign in. Oh, okay, another thing I could do, I could rename it to this because the name of the file here is deliver for us. So I'm gonna rename that file, the sign in file, I'm gonna rename it to deliver for us. Okay, so that's that. Then next thing, I'm gonna click on this to see what I have now. You can see what I have now. Okay, so I'm gonna remove these links as well, not important to us. So I'm gonna remove this one, these links. So to do that, just head up here, and then I'm just gonna remove this one. So the next thing is that I'm gonna design my sign in page just as we have it here. So good, like this. Okay, so the first thing, I have a label at the extreme top, then I have my container, then I have my form, which is now inside my container. Okay, so to do that, I'm gonna bring in another div now. I'm gonna bring in another row. Now if you look at the whole page, you realize that there seems to be a hidden container here that seems to be centralized. So that's what I'm gonna do first. So I'm gonna create a new hidden container. So I'm gonna give it a width, say using my style. The width should be maybe 50%, right? However, I want it to become fluid on a mobile screen, so I'm gonna add a W3 mobile class. Next, I'm gonna want it to centralize itself, so I'm gonna add this CSS code snippet as margin 0 auto. So this is gonna centralize itself. Then the next thing is that I'm gonna bring in a H2, and I'm gonna say sign in. Now this H2 is gonna be centralized, so I'm gonna give it a class W3 center. Okay, so let's see what we have now. Can I refresh it? Yeah. Okay, so this is what I have now. Now let's see our this. Okay, good. If you see this, you see there is some space around at the extreme top. So to bring in a little space here, I'm gonna bring in W3 padding. I'm gonna add a W3 padding 32. So on that container, so it's gonna create a 32 pixel space around here, as well as 32 pixel space around the bottom of the container. Okay, so I'm gonna add to this W3 padding 32. Let's try 32. If 32 is too small, then we increase it to 64, right? I'm sure you are aware of those classes. Good. You can see there's now a 32 pixel padding at the top of the container and a 32 pixel padding at the bottom of the container. So therefore, it's creating the space for us. Okay, the next thing I want to do is that my sign in is quite bold, so I'm gonna bring it in a bold tag. Okay, so now if I refresh, it's bold. The next thing based on our design is that we now have another container here with a slightly darker color version of our theme color. So that's the container I'm gonna create now, which is just right below our H1. So I'm gonna say W3 row, and then I'm gonna give it a W3 theme L4. So L4 is slightly darker than L5. I'm also gonna give it a W3 round because it's right. No, does not have a corner edges. No. Okay, so I'm gonna remove that. Good. Now the next thing is I'm gonna start my form. So I'm gonna start with a W3 section to bring in the first section of my form. Continue with a label, and in the label we have email or phone number. So I'm gonna write email or phone. Okay, then the next thing is my input. So I'm gonna start with input.w3 input. Okay, so I don't want this one. Good. My input is white, so I'm gonna say W3 white, which I believe should be white by default. Okay, then it has a border, so I'm gonna say W3 border, and it's kind of round, so I'm gonna bring in W3 round, right? Okay, so what do we have now? So this is what we have now. Okay, good, fine. Now there is a space around, based on our design, there's a little space before the form, right? So I'm gonna bring in a W3 padding. So I'm gonna give this form container here W3 padding so that it creates a space around its content. So this space that this form is the content of the container, right? But if you look at it, there's a space around the content, right? So I'm gonna introduce a W3 padding to create that space. Okay, now I'm gonna refresh, and here we go. We don't have space around. This is the effect of W3 padding. So all this space here is the effect of W3 padding. However, my label is bold based on our design. Yep, my label is bold. So I'm gonna bring in the label in a bold tag. I can as well use CSS to bold all my labels, but then I don't want to do that because I might run into a label that is not bold, and that's gonna cause me problem, right? Good. It's as simple as that. Then the next input is password. So I'm gonna duplicate this section, and I'm gonna use it for password. So I'm gonna change the label here. I'll say password. Oh, I didn't give a type to my input, so I'm gonna give it a type. The type is equals to text. However, for passwords, type is equal to password. Okay, so if I refresh my page now, then we now have let's say my email, my password. Yep, very nice. Okay, then the next thing is my button, my sign-in button. Okay, so to do that, I'm gonna just head on to my editor, and then I'm gonna create the last section of my form now. For this time, it's gonna contain my button, so I can have div.w3btn like this. I'm gonna write sign in, and then my btn, of course, has a w3 theme, and it's round, w3 round. And okay, so let's see this. Let's see what we have now. Okay, I have my button. However, based on our design here, my button is by the extreme right hand side. So to do that, I'm just gonna float, right? So I'm gonna add a w3 right to float it to the right. Good. So refresh that. There we go. The next thing is that my form, if you look at my form container here, is a little bit the height is a little bit high. So I'm gonna increase the height of my own container. So to do that, just bring in a CSS on the container and then increase the height. So I'm just gonna say height should be let's try 400 pixels and see if it's too much. We'll reduce it. Okay, refresh that. I think that's okay, but we can make it let's make it 460. However, if you look at the content, you also realize that there is a little space, a much bigger space around it. So we can add the w3 padding 64 to it as well, to make it to have a 64 pixel top padding and 64 pixel bottom padding. So I'm gonna add W3 padding 64. I think 64 is quite large. Okay, so if I refresh this now, good, perfect. So let's see, do we have our form just as we want it? Yep, we are done with this guy now. So you can see that it's just too simple, simple as that. Okay, the next page we're gonna work on, can quickly work on the sign up page. Very simple. The only addition is full name, so I can quickly duplicate my sign in. So I'm just gonna go to file, save as, and then I deliver for us. Okay, so let's see, what link did we give to? Oh, we don't even have the link for our sign up. Okay, so we're gonna load Abdul's we're gonna load Abdul's page now, since he did a sign up button for us. Oh, look at it. So this is the sign up button that Abdul, this is what Abdul designed for us. Alright, so we're gonna work with this. Now to bring in that sign up button is as simple as, before saving this, we just duplicate our sign in as sign up. This time there's no floating, so it's very simple. We just remove this one, no floating, and then we change this one to sign up. Right, then refresh. Let's see our sign up button. Fine. So the next thing I'm gonna do now is I want a little more space here, so I'm gonna add a W3 padding W3 margin top. Okay. Yep. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, padding let's say padding 16 or padding 32. Let's try 16 and see, do we have a little space? Because if you observe, there's a little space between the password and the buttons, right? So that's what I want to do now. Let's see, do we have that space now? Good, we have that space, that's okay. The next thing I want to do is that the sign up button should be a little bit different in maybe color from the sign in. It helps for quick differentiation. So to do that, I'm gonna make the sign up button maybe okay, I'm gonna make the sign in button a little bit darker, so maybe I'll give it a D2 like this. Good. So the sign up button should take us to sign up, right? So it means that it's gonna be a link, so I'm gonna change the div to an A1 and I'm gonna give it a href. So the href will be sign up.html. Then the last thing is the forgot password. Okay, so to do that, I'm gonna just duplicate this section because forgot password is just below the sign up button, so it makes sense to duplicate this section, and then I remove everything and change this guy to forgot password, or let's just say reset password, full stop. So I'm gonna remove this btn and I'm gonna remove these guys here, right? Okay, so let's see, what do we have? Sorry. So this is what we have now. So although we could change, okay, I want to remove this one, padding 16 should go, the space is too much. So what do we have now? The space is gone. Yep. Then the next thing I want to do is that I want to change the color, so I'm gonna use a W3 what? Since I'm on theme, I'll use W3 text theme. So this gives it the color of the theme. Good, perfect. So I can, if I choose to change the color on hover, then I can say W3 hover, maybe text red, like this. Good. So when you hover on it, the color becomes red, and when you don't hover on it, it becomes theme color. The next thing now, I can go ahead and work on my sign up page. So to do that, I'm gonna just save this as sign up. Alright, so I'm gonna save it as sign up. Then I'm gonna change in here to off. One, I'm gonna remove the reset password page. Okay, so I'm gonna change the sign in here to off and the sign up here to in. And I'm just gonna point to deliver for us, right? Okay, the next thing, I'm gonna duplicate email or phone to what? For full name, right? Okay, let's see. Full name, let's see, sign up, full name. So I'm gonna duplicate that for full name. So I'm gonna change this one to full name, and then I'm gonna make it a text. Everything remains the same. So let's see, what do we have now? That's looking beautiful, perfect. So we have sign up, we have full name, we have email, we have password, we have sign in here, and then we have the sign up button here. Okay, so well, I'll stop here today, and see you in the next tutorial.